This podcast is sponsored by Active Skin Repair, a skin health company helping people heal with natural, non-toxic, medical-grade ingredients. Active Skin Repair is something that is a staple now in our family health cabinet. My son is into mountain biking now. He's into ninja courses, and so he's getting a lot of scrapes and like burns when he like slides down the spider wall. So anytime that happens, I just go to the cabinet, we take out the Active Skin Repair, spray it on, and he's feeling pretty good. That's because Active Skin Repair uses a molecule called hypochlorous acid. When applied to the skin, the molecule works by mimicking the natural immune response to cleanse, soothe irritation, reduce inflammation, and support healing. It's pretty cool. So visit www.activeskinrepair.com to learn more about Active Skin Repair and to get 20% off your order, use code NOGUILT. That's activeskinrepair.com, and to get 20% off your order, use code NOGUILT. So one of the things you could do with ChatGPT is chore schedules. It'll suggest chores for you with the caveat. ChatGPT is a bit misogynistic. The first time it gave mom all of these chores, and then for dad, his chore was take out the trash and spend time with the dog. I'm like, I'm not even joking. Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I am your host, Joanne Crone, joined here by the lovely Brie Tucker.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
She has a dance routine going for you all today. So you're just going to have to use your imagery with the imaginary hat. Yes. Today we are talking about an interesting topic, AI, which is everywhere and is used a lot in workplaces. I mean, we use it here at No Guilt Mom. It helps us write descriptions. It helps us write podcast episode show notes. It's really helpful, but we don't talk a lot about how we can use it in the home.
And there are a lot of ways that you can use it in the home, which is, it's interesting because when you threw out this idea for the episode, I'm like, well, I don't think people are going to want to do that or, hear an episode about this. But then the more we talked about it, the more I realized how many missed opportunities of things that I struggle with on a regular basis, that it never dawned on me that I could use AI to help these things. But as soon as you said them, or as soon as we put them on our show notes, I'm like, well, duh. Where have I been?
There's a lot. And if you have never used ChatGPT before, by the way, we have a little freebie for you that you can go and download. We're going to put the link in the show notes as well. But if you just right now want to go to balanceformoms.com/prompts, that's PROMPTS, you can download that guide with all of these ChatGPT prompts and how you can use it in the home. So just keep that as a mental note. And now let's get on with the show. You want mom life to be easier. That's our goal too. Our mission is to raise more self-sufficient and independent kids, and we're going to have fun doing it. We're going to help you delegate and step back. Each episode will tackle strategies for positive discipline, making our kids more responsible and making our lives better in the process. Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. So this whole discussion, Brie, of AI, it is really, really interesting because what I find is that either people have embraced AI already, or there's this huge fear against AI that it's going to take over the world and that it's bad for society and we shouldn't use it at all. I mean, do you see that as well?
Well, okay. So let me preface that with, we have had so much given to us in terms of entertainment, both through books and through movies and television, of all the things that can happen with AI. And I'm not discrediting actual theorists and researchers. It's the science community that is saying like, this is the progression we will be going through for AI. But I do think that there is a good chance that, The Matrix and Terminator has influenced a lot of us in our lives. And
iRobot.
Yes, right? And I think that if there's one thing that Brienne can tell everybody is that as someone who believed the movies I watched growing up that I could change the bad guy, I'm going to say that perhaps having all these things being given to us, like all of these tall tales, or not tall tales, but all of these stories of woe with AI, perhaps we can keep an eye on it. And yes, there are some legit issues with AI that make things rough, and we'll talk about those. But
Yeah.
overall, the uses that we're talking about for AI are
They're
not
pretty
going to be,
benign.
they're not going to lead into the fears that people have, and they're going to help you out so much with mental load.
Well, what's so interesting about AI is like there's actually this Jennifer Lopez movie on Netflix that came out a few months ago. It's called Atlas. Have you seen this?
I've heard of it, but I don't know enough about it. So tell me more.
I don't recommend it, first of all. I'm sorry.
okay.
I have to be completely honest with
Not
my
one of her
movie
better
recommendations. Else I feel like it damages my credibility if I
Oh,
don't.
so it's not one of her better ones. Okay, gotcha.
I did watch it though, and I had it on the background when I was working. And her character had a fear of AI and robots and technology in the movie, and then she learned to like love her robot. It's very much a Big Hero 6 type story where, you learn to love like Baymax and then he gets reincarnated as another Baymax. It's this human relationship with AI and technology. We have those movies coming out now as well. But a lot of the fears of AI are like, I won't use it because I'm afraid that my skills will go downhill if I use it too often. And then there's like, I think that one, it's so interesting, that one, because I feel like it has some similarities with the machines replacing human workers in factories, like how there used to be a human putting on the toothpaste tube caps, and now that's all done with machines. And so when I see that, I'm like, well, this is just progress. It's like things being done differently than they have been done in the past.
Well, okay. So I would say in that case where someone is like, I'm afraid that if I use AI, I will lose some of my own skill set.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that is a personal thing. Like, you need to weigh, first of all, whether or not the time you're spending doing that skill from scratch is worth it, and that the time that you would save isn't helpful. And then second of all, if you feel like you're going to lose your skill, then maybe find ways to keep using that skill, but maybe aren't the same. Like, okay, so like if it's writing, so like maybe you don't want to use AI because you're in a field like us, where like we write and we have like blog posts and everything, and you're like, oh, if I start doing that, I'm going to lose my creative juices. Well, then maybe you start as a hobby journaling or writing stories to keep that going in an enjoyable way. I don't know.
The blog post thing and like the writing thing, because I feel like AI has actually made me a better writer. And here's why.
Okay.
ChatGPT is not a great writer. It doesn't sound very human. And you notice as soon as you use it, like it is not you talking as soon as you use it. And it's interesting because I will go in, and usually I don't use it for anything creative or any like books I write or anything like that. I use it for promotional emails, things where I have to market, and they're not exactly my favorite emails to write. You have to include a lot of components in there, detailed components like prices, what's included, things that I get so lazy and I don't want to write about that. I want the fun part of writing, the expression and the emotion and all of that. And so in terms of that, ChatGPT has actually made me a better writer because it takes care of that weakness I have with talking about the details and lets me put all my focus into the emotion and the fun that I find. And I think that having ChatGPT and using it like in the home, which we're going to give you many ways to use it, it's going to take out that part that you don't find fun that still needs to be done by somebody.
Yes. Like we talk about in our Common Happy Parenting, which is part of our balance program. You have that, how would I describe it? It's the 4 squares, and it's things that I'm really good at, but enjoy. Things that I'm good at, but I don't enjoy. Things that I'm not good at, but I enjoy. Things that I am not good at and I do not enjoy. Like, it helps shift things around because we all have those tasks. Helps shift things around in there.
We could just take those tasks of things you're good at but don't enjoy, and the things you're not good at and don't enjoy. Those could be AI.
Meal planning. Meal planning
is awful. It is awful.
Yeah, I can't stand that. Mm-mm.
We have a way out of it. But it's so interesting that we even need to have these things for us, like that we have so many responsibilities as moms and we take so much on ourselves that we're now looking at AI to take some of the load off. Like it doesn't seem fair. And if you're thinking that right now, like it just doesn't seem fair, you're completely right. It's not.
Yeah.
Like
We
it's
put a
not
lot on ourselves. We do.
it's not how humans are
Society
supposed to live. Like
I
they're
know, I
not.
know. Can I just tell you, like, one of my favorite shows right now, I'm watching it on Hulu, so it's an old show. It's not even out anymore, but it's Mediterranean Life. And it's these people that are moving from wherever, sometimes America, Canada, sometimes other places in Europe, and they're moving to the Mediterranean. And when they talk about their lives in the Mediterranean, I just keep looking at my husband going, what the hell are we doing here? We need to go to the slower pace of life. It's so bad.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I always think of the slower pace of life. Like
Yeah.
my husband is so against scheduling our weekends and I'm with him on it now because like when you
Yeah.
have this long luxurious stretch of time where nothing is scheduled, it is amazing. It's
Yes.
hard though when you have little kids. It's really hard.
Yeah.
So I have to just put that out there right now. Like if you have little kids, a lot of times the schedule and the routine is what's going to save you and it's going
Yeah.
to save your sanity in the long run.
Yeah.
Please put that schedule and routine in. Just make sure it is a routine and it's not like activity like all day long. If your weekends feel like they're taken up, like I thought mine was with meal planning, with groceries, with chores, with all of
Hmm.
these things, oh my gosh, we're about to make your life so much lighter. And we're going to get into it right after this. Losing weight can be really hard. And when it comes to prioritizing your health and feeling confident and strong, it can be really difficult to know where to start. I mean, I have been on so many things and it is hard and you lose your confidence. Hers is changing women's healthcare by providing access to GLP-1 weekly injection. Hers connects you with a medical provider who will work with you to determine your best treatment option. And through hers, weight loss plans are more affordable with GLP-1 injections starting at $199 per month with a 12-month subscription. Start your free online visit today at forhers.com/NGM. That's FORHERS.com/NGM for your personalized weight loss treatment options. Forhers.com/NGM. Not available everywhere. Hers weight loss includes compounded products which are not approved nor verified for safety or effectiveness by FDA. Prescription products require a provider consultation. Restrictions apply. Actual price to customer will depend on product and subscription plan purchase. Back to school season is officially here. And if you're struggling like I am, trying to get everything done, I have one thing that you can cross off your list, and that is grocery shopping and meal planning. Because HelloFresh can provide each of those for you, and they handle most of the prep too. Their meals are absolutely delicious. And if you have kids complaining about what you're cooking for dinner, you can solve that family dinner dilemma because HelloFresh has a line of kid-friendly family options. We had this delicious corn quesadilla that my kids absolutely love.
And Green Chef and Every Plate, they are now owned by HelloFresh. Now, with a wider array of meal plans to choose from, there is something for everyone.
I have to mention for a limited time, kids eat free. They eat free. So go to HelloFresh.com/NGM kids to unlock this exclusive offer. One free kids meal per box for 2 months while your subscription is active. That's free kids meals just by going to HelloFresh.com/NGM kids.
HelloFresh, it's America's #1 meal kit.
Here at No Guilt Mom and Inner Balance program, I am always talking about the importance of healthy habits. That is what gives you the energy to actually face all the stress you have as a mom. And one thing that I'm obsessed about is drinking enough water. Staying hydrated is so important. And that's why you've got to check out AquaTrue, because its proprietary purification technology removes so many harmful contaminants, including PFAs, which are those forever chemicals, which can potentially lead to adverse health effects like cancer or liver toxicity. And the cool thing is the filters are long lasting. They last from 6 months to 2 years. AquaTrue comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee and even makes a great gift. Today, our listeners receive 20% off any AquaTrue purifier. Just go to aquatrue.com. That's AQUATRU.com and enter code NGM at checkout. That's 20% off any AquaTrue water purifier when you go to aquatrue.com and use promo code NGM.
Okay, so I've got to tell you guys, first of all, before Joanne starts to get into all of these, grab a pen, download this episode because you are going to want to take notes. We are going to make your life so much easier. It's going to be phenomenal.
So our first tool we're going to use for AI is ChatGPT. And ChatGPT, you can get it on the website, like a desktop computer, chatgpt.com, a web browser on your phone, or there's an app that you can download to your phone. And you just search for ChatGPT in the App Store. It downloads right there. And if you're unfamiliar with ChatGPT, the way it works is that you talk to it like you would a friend or like you would an assistant. You don't have to have any computer related jargon or anything like that. It can be super simple. And it gets to know you and what you like based on what you say. So you could tell it, no, I don't like that. No, this was a bad job. Do it again.
I need to do that more with my ChatGPT. I almost think that my ChatGPT is like slightly judging me. And I have to be like, okay, I'll work with that. Even though it's not what I wanted. Like, why am I people pleasing my ChatGPT? I am just now realizing it. As soon as you said you can tell ChatGPT, no, that was no good, do it again. That thought has never crossed my mind. I always thought I just had to be stuck with what it gave me and like figure it out. But
along with you, I always say please and thank you to Chat. I'm like, can you please do that again? Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
We're preparing for the day that AI does take over. They'll be like, wait, we'll be nice to them. They said please and thank you.
I don't want AI to hate me.
I tell Alexa she sucks all the time, but not ChatGPT. ChatGPT, I didn't know I could say that.
Yeah, me and Siri, I do that. And it's so funny because Alexa and Siri use AI in it.
Yeah. Well, I don't even talk to Siri. Siri, I'm constantly like, Siri, go home, you're drunk. Like, you suck.
Like, Siri, shut up, bitch. Like, you don't have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm like, Siri, you don't know what you're doing.
You know what you're doing. Okay. So let's go through these ChatGPT things because like one of my like most hated tasks ever is meal planning. I really don't like it.
I'm there with you.
I actually like for meal planning, I get into just my routines and rhythms where breakfast for me, it's one of two meals. It's my overnight oats, which I love, or it's like
coming from here in Tempe, by the way. Shout out to overnight oats. Boop, boop. Sorry.
What? What do you mean?
They're based here in Tempe.
Oh, it's not. I don't use a company though.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. No, the company overnight is based in Tempe. Oh,
I didn't know that. Yeah. No, overnight oats. I use like Quaker oatmeal and like.
Oh, gotcha.
It's actually very simple.
Yeah, I've seen you do it. I have seen you do it. So overnight oats or what's the other?
Or waffle with cottage cheese and fruit. I do love cottage cheese. Like it's a good protein source.
I like cottage cheese, but the idea of putting that on a waffle.
Oh yeah.
Is
waffle,
none too appetizing.
Fruit, and like some sugar-free syrup on top. It's so good. And it's a specific brand of sugar-free syrup I use. I don't remember the name, but maybe we'll put that in the show notes for you all.
Okay.
But I do that for breakfast. Lunch is usually leftovers from one of our dinners. And then dinner is like something really simple off of our, rotation of meals. But there is a time where I'm like, I am bored with all the meals I'm cooking. I need to find something else. And that's where ChatGPT can come in handy. Like all you have to do is be like, hey, ChatGPT. And we have a prompt for you, like an actual prompt you can use. And that is in the show notes. But It's along the lines of, I have a family of 4 with an 11-year-old boy, 15-year-old girl who don't really like to eat anything but pizza and grilled cheese due to like texture issues. And I don't like fish, like don't suggest anything with fish and ChatGPT. And I'm like, please create a 7-day menu of breakfast, dinners, and lunches and snacks. And ChatGPT is like, here you go.
That is crazy. Okay, so I would love that because my problem with my meal planning that I have, and I hate myself for having this problem because every week it's the same thing. We normally go grocery shopping on Sunday. So on Sundays or Saturday, the conversation will start in our household where I'll be like, hey, what do you want to eat this week? Because I'm pretty open. Like I am definitely what I would call an emotional eater. I am not the person that can eat the leftovers in the fridge if I'm not feeling it. If I'm not feeling it, they're not getting eaten. Yeah, that's what I mean by an emotional eater. Like I have to
That's my daughter too. She will not eat leftovers, but for a different reason.
Well, and I can tell you that the not eating if you're not feeling it sucks if you're also someone who values like thriftiness. Because that's the self-hate there with me. But anyway, so I'll be like, what does everybody want to eat? And my kids each are supposed to cook 1 meal a week too. So then they also have their staples they go to. Right now we're in a breakfast nachos run with Audrey.
She makes breakfast nachos.
Yes.
What's on these nachos to make them breakfast?
So here's the deal. Let me just say this. My family loves breakfast. I hate breakfast. I am a lunch person. So this was a combination between the two. So it's basically scrambled eggs with cheese and your choice of meat on top of tortilla chips. Like that's so like we take a baking sheet and cover it with foil and chips and cheese and scrambled eggs. And Audrey will normally make up like some bacon because we all like bacon. And puts the chips, scrambled eggs, and cheese into the toaster oven for 5 minutes, just enough to melt the cheese. And then comes out and everybody like takes a glob of the chips, puts it on a plate, and then tops it with what they want. So like
interesting.
I'll have avocados and bacon and pickled onions like that. Yeah, so then you're basically eating it. So she likes that because she likes breakfast. So
yeah, I'd see that. And so along those lines, like recipes, like ChatGPT can give you recipes for ideas, especially Bree, since you don't like to eat leftovers.
No, like so my husband will do that. So like, he'll put in the like if he has to cook dinner, he'll be like, it drives me nuts. I go to Pinterest and I have my saved recipes, but he goes the easy
very
route.
Visual. Yeah.
Yes. And he goes the easy route. He'll go to ChatGPT and he'll type in, I have chicken, garlic, and pasta. What can I make?
See, that's amazing. That's a way you could use ChatGPT there too. Like it's like chopped, but like you're using another brain for chopped.
That is true. That is true. So yeah, so he enjoys it. He uses it a lot for stuff like that. But I like the idea of the meal planning. Like I never thought of asking it for snacks.
Snacks are good.
It's never funny thought of that.
When I was first using it, I remember, and I'm like, look what we can make it do. You're like, yeah, but I like the visual. And so a surprising thing that ChatGPT could do is you're like, I want to see what every meal looks like. Please create a picture. And it does. It creates these AI pictures of what every meal looks like. And like our jaws were on the floor. We're like, whoa, this is really cool. And they look pretty realistic as well.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. So in general, like you could use ChatGPT easily for meal planning, for recipes. It'll make you a grocery list to go along with that meal plan.
Yeah. Based on your meal plan, it'll actually budget out your grocery list. So it'll tell you how much it costs. And it's pretty on top of it because I went shopping with the grocery list and the grocery list ChatGPT made me was going to be $340. And I'm like, what the hell, ChatGPT? What are you smoking? No, it was $340. And I'm like, okay, we need to go back and we need to do this again because ChatGPT is actually on it with this grocery budget. So it's really a helpful tool. It's a really helpful tool. And you could be like, hey, readjust this meal plan so that it's only going to cost me so much in groceries. It'll do that for you.
Really? Did it give you any like suggestions? Like how much detail did it give you? I'm curious. Did it give you brands? to save money?
It
Did
gave you like basic prices.
Okay.
It didn't give me brands or anything, but I bet you could tell it to give you brands.
That's interesting.
I'm sure you can. But
I'm
yeah, so
wondering
we've gone
about
over a lot about the food uses of ChatGPT. We're going to tell you how it can make household chores easier right after this.
Interrompemos esse podcast para perguntar: quem você quer ser?
Designer, engenheira, pedagoga,
administrador.
Quer saber? O Senac EAD é nota máxima no MEC. Tem cursos de diversas áreas, com conteúdo elaborado por especialistas do mercado e professores mestres e doutores. Ainda tem o Senac Carreiras, conectando estudantes a vagas de emprego em todo o país. Saiba mais em ead.senac.br/graduação.
Why are so many dogs suffering with health issues? Actress Katherine Heigl, who's helped save over 16,000 dogs through her foundation, says she's seeing more issues with dogs' joints and odors and health than ever before. And after doing a ton of research, she feels that there's one place we can look to support any dog's health, and that's their food.
So she decided to create something she could actually feel good about feeding her dogs. It's called Superfood Complete. Superfood Complete is made with over 30 of the healthiest ingredients on the planet, including several superfoods vital to your dog's health. Badlands Ranch also supports the Jason Deebus Heigl Foundation, which has helped rescue thousands of dogs and place them in loving homes. And oh my gosh, Brie, my dog Addie went nuts over this food. I took it out of the bag and she's immediately doing all her tricks. She's like, you want me to spin? You want me to lay down? You want me? Just give it to me.
So go to badlandsranch.com/guilt and order right now. And you're going to get up to 50% off your regular priced order with a 90-day money back guarantee. If you want your dog to experience all these incredible things, go to Badlands Ranch. That's BADLANDS ranch.com/guilt today.
I think it is so cool to be able to go to a foreign country and be able to speak the language. I've learned a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of French, a little bit of German, and just to be able to converse with native speakers, it makes such a difference. And if you want to do this too, Rosetta Stone has been a trusted expert for 30 years with millions of users and 25 languages offered. It is so convenient. You have fast language acquisition, and they even have speech recognition built in. So it sees how you pronounce things and gives you some feedback, which I totally need whenever I'm learning a foreign language. So don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. No Guilt Mom listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/today. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/today. Okay, so one of the other things you could do with ChatGPT is chore schedules. I always think when I hear the word chore schedules, Full House episodes where they're rearranging the chores on that whiteboard and Danny Tanner
all the
is
magnets and
all the
whatever.
magnets and everything, and that is just overall crazy. What you can do to ChatGPT is you can put in a prompt, and we have a prompt for you, remember, right in the show notes. You could put that in to be like, hey, I have a family of 4 and please create a chore schedule for this family. Here's what everybody does already. Please suggest other chores to do to help keep the house clean. And it'll suggest chores for you and list everyone's out and make a checklist for each person with the caveat. ChatGPT is a bit misogynistic.
Oh my God. Yes. Okay. So what happened the first time you asked ChatGPT to do the chores?
The first time it asked to do the chores, it gave mom all of these chores. And then for dad, his chore was take out the trash and spend time with the dog. I'm I'm not even joking.
Kiss my booty, ChatGPT.
Time with the dog. And so I'm okay, ChatGPT. And I go back to it and I'm please give dad more chores to do. And I went
You didn't just call out ChatGPT? Because now I'm thinking since you said I can tell them that they did a bad job. We should be able to say, ChatGPT, you're being a bit misogynistic.
Yes.
You need to be more gender neutral and disperse the mental load.
Yes.
Equally.
Well, here's another example. I created a morning routine and I'm please create a morning routine for a family of 4 to get out the door. in time. And it had mom waking up at 5:30 in the morning, and then it had dad waking up at 6 p.m. and at 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m. And then do you know what ChatGPT put on mom's checklist to do at 6 a.m.?
Wake up, dad.
Wake up, dad.
There's a reason ChatGPT is single. That's all I gotta say.
Just be aware of that fact when you go into it and just call it out. Be like, you're being a bit misogynistic. Can we make you a little more gender neutral and make sure that dad has the same mental load? You could even ask ChatGPT things like, are you familiar with the concept of mental load? And that actually primes it. So when you ask it that question, it'll be like, yes, mental load is da 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 da. Okay, please make sure you create a chore schedule that is mindful of not so much mental load on mom. And it should do it from there. But it's pretty funny, the results that it has.
Oh my God. That is crazy. So you could put in, what I'm hearing is like you could put in your age for the kids. So even on the chore list, I have 2 teenagers, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, as much as you want to put in there in terms of information, just to kind of get it tweaked the way that you want it tweaked for your family and what'll work for you guys.
Absolutely. The another thing that we've started using ChatGPT for is writing reviews, which is a great thing. Like for us, like when guests come on our show, like we read their books, and then a lot of times they're like, "Oh my gosh, it would be so awesome if you could write a review for the book," because reviews really do make the world go round.
I was going to say, let's put a pause in there because unless you've worked in the field, I don't think people fully, like, we hear it. We know reviews are important. No, you don't understand.
They're real important.
It's immensely important for people that are producing things. Podcasts, hint, hint. Books, authors, like shows. It's services, so important.
It's why we constantly ask you here on the No Guilt Mom podcast if you could take a second and go and write a review of the podcast.
Even if it's like 2 thumbs up, great holiday fun, like whatever. That was my throwback to, by the way, to Clueless.
To Clueless.
2 thumbs up, great holiday fun. Anyway.
But the thing about reviews is like they are time consuming to do. And we realize that. And I can't remember the guest that came on who told us this, but she's like, yeah, all you need to do is go ask ChatGPT to write a review, then go tweak a few words and post it. And I'm like, what? Like, this is genius.
What would a prompt be for that? Would it be something like, write a review about this book? I really enjoyed it. Thought it was cool. Like,
yeah, you could go in like that for sure.
Okay.
A lot of times I will ask them if they're familiar with the book. I'll be like, hey, are you familiar with the book? I don't know. What book am I reading right now? The Myth of Normal by Dr. Gabor Mate. And it'd be like, yes. And then it gives you a big summary of the book. It'd be like, great. I really like the part about that we're living in a toxic culture. Can you please write me a review of the book that mentions that? And then it goes and writes a review, and it's like completely tailored to you. And you go in and you make it maybe sound a little bit more like you in places and delete sections you don't like. And then you can go post that. And the author gets your really great review on there. It's a great gift to them, and it's made your life easier.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah. I like giving people like suggestions too. So like also not just the creators, but also letting other people find really great material. It's a really cool thing.
It is. It really is. I love that. Mm-hmm. Another thing I found that ChatGPT could do is, so if you're trying to think of projects to do around your house, maybe you have, I don't know, like a space on your first floor. I'm looking around because I have this space on my first floor that currently is being used as my office, but it's like this weird space that I don't know what to do with. And so like, you could be like, I would like to redesign my first floor, and you could put in, and it's a space that has carpet and leads up to the 3rd floor. I already have a living room. I already have a kitchen. What could I do with it? It'll give you ideas for that. Or even like, heck, science fair season.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Right? What are some cool science fair experiments that I could do? And it'll give you the ideas so that you can start running on your own.
It's a great brainstorming resource.
Yeah.
I know a lot of women here come to us at No Guilt Mom and be like, you know what? I really want to start a hobby. I have no idea what I find fun. And ChatGPT can help you with that. I put a prompt in the other day. What are some hobbies I can try? I live in the Phoenix, Arizona area. And it gave me a whole list of things.
Did it give
from
you
like,
kayaking?
It did. It
Oh,
did
good.
give me kayaking
Oh,
on
good.
there. It did. It gave me rock climbing. It gave me
Ooh.
all these active activities. Another prompt that I put in was like, I enjoy reading thrillers. What are some other hobbies I might enjoy? And it gave me a list of things I could try. One of them was escape rooms. And I'm like, you're right. I do enjoy those. Thank you.
I was going to say, hopefully it didn't say, here is how you go and commit a crime.
Here's how you commit.
Here's how you bury a dead body. No.
Shout out, by the way, to Amanda in our Balance VIP.
Who's a CSI.
Amanda is a CSI in Washington, D.C. And in joking, like, we do have these Balance member takeovers. And she's like, I can teach people how to hide a body. She did it. She was joking, but it's a really funny joke. She's like, no, that would be very irresponsible of me to do that.
She's like, but funny, but irresponsible.
But funny, but irresponsible. So shout out to Amanda.
Yes. So we would be amiss if we don't mention some other great tools within your household. So I'm going to say one thing that has been very helpful, and this isn't necessarily an AI thing, but it's going to lead us into the AI of it. And you don't even know I'm doing it because it's not on our outline. But so, like I mentioned, I live in a townhouse. It is 3 floors, and I had the hardest time trying to figure out how to communicate within our household. I forget what was going on. There was something that was going on in Alexa, like the little Echo dots were like crazy cheap, like $15 on sale. So I bought one for each floor. And that has helped us like communicate between each floor. We even have one with a what's it called? An Echo Show that has the screen. And my husband has hooked up our ring light to our ring doorbell to it. So now when I'm on the 2nd or 3rd floor and I'm in front of one of those Echo Shows, I can see the screen pop up whenever anybody's at the front door. It is pretty amazing. It has made things like communication so much easier. But that kind of leads me into, what are all the things that Alexa type things can do for you? It doesn't have to be Alexa. There's a lot of different options. There's Google. Don't you have Google in your house?
I do, but they're not working very well right now. The home one in the kitchen is just completely gone away. And I mean, it's like 2018. So 2017 we bought it, so it's about time. But it's funny that you mentioned Alexa for communication, because I tend to yell across my house. I have a very loud yell, which my kids call my murder yell. And I'm not angry. It's just how I project it. I use my murder yell when like they tell me I can't use it anymore. I'm very sad. But like Josh, my husband, was in a Turtle Tucson. Let me say that again. El Tour de Tucson. And it was a bike thing. I think he did the 60 miler. And we were waiting on the side of the road. And when I saw him coming, that's when the murder yell came out. It was like, but it was much louder than that. Like, and it sounds basically like someone's getting murdered is what my kids describe it as. But I say it's
so
like
is that like
projecting?
What I'm hearing is that your murder yell is like one of my talents. The one where I'm like, I yell as loud as I possibly can.
Yes, you yell as loud as you possibly can. It's projecting. I like my murder yell, but
I do too. It's very it's very cleansing.
Yes. It lets out all the rage. All the rage in a very productive way that is also meant to encourage and communicate.
Yeah.
So that's going a little off topic. But
okay. But what
we
are some
have
other
Alexas
things
in our house?
Yeah. What are some other things that you could use Alexa for in your house to help make your mental load, your daily life easier?
You can add things to the shopping list. You can put items on subscription. Like we use Amazon Subscribe and Save for a lot of things that need to be replaced regularly, like paper towels and toilet paper.
Oh, see, and I use it for water filters because I always forget.
That's a good one.
And I hate like going to order it once it turns red. So like I have it where it just comes every 6 months. And then like, sure enough, I'll get a notice that, hey, your Subscribe and Save for the water filters coming soon. And then sure enough, the next day or two, the kids will be like, hey, Mom, the refrigerator is on orange. And I'm like, don't worry, it's already on its way.
It's already on its way. That's a great thing to do it for. Yeah. I use it for supplements and vitamins and stuff like that I take regularly. Yeah. So I don't have to worry about refilling those things. Protein shakes. I need to re-up that. I was going off my protein shakes for a little bit. So like they were accumulating and now I've gone through all the back stock. So I need to start that again.
Right? That happens to us too sometimes. That's the funny thing about subscribe and save. Again, in case you didn't know, like Bree didn't realize she could tell ChatGPT that they were not doing things right, you can adjust your subscribe and save. Sometimes you'll need it sooner, sometimes you won't. And we're saying subscribe and save. It's not always like that, but still, like putting things on subscription, you can adjust it, have it do more, have it do less as needed. So that's a cool thing. But
Absolutely.
we use routines in our house. Do you guys use routines, or do you know what I'm
I don't
talking
know
about with that?
Okay.
So Miguel figured this one out, and he's like the king of routines in our household. So you can have it do certain things. Like if we say max on anywhere in the house, it'll turn on the lights in the living room. That's a routine.
Cool.
Like, so you gave it a command and it can do that. But another routine we have is we have a bedtime routine. And at 10 o'clock, it takes the lights in our bedroom and it brings them down to 5%. So the light bulbs go down and it starts playing. We have a music playlist that it plays. And then at the end of the playlist, it starts playing rain noises. And so I listen to rain noises at night when we're sleeping. So like and you can adjust the volumes and everything. So like you can have it set for certain routines like that. When it's like the kid's birthday, he'll set a routine, especially for Audrey, where he found some princess happy birthday song. And on her birthday, he'll have it set to like go off at like 7 a.m. in her room of like,
I'm sure she appreciates that one.
Yeah. It's come to be known. But
that's funny.
So you can do that. I set alarms all the time while I'm working so that I can remember to, I don't know, get up and walk around.
Yeah.
Or remember to stop what I'm doing because I have an interview coming up in 5 minutes, because you get really into things. So like those are really helpful. So I love the routines. Helpful. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, we hope we have given you a lot of ideas on how you can use AI and other devices to make your mental load a little bit less and make your life just overall easier. Don't forget, we have those prompts for you right there in the show notes, but it's also balanceformoms.com/prompts, PROMPTS. And until next time, remember, the best mom's a happy mom. Take care of you. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks for stopping by.
Are you a parent in need of a laugh and a little escape? Look no further. Parenting is a Joke is the podcast you've been waiting for. Hey, I'm Ophira Eisenberg. I'm a stand-up comic and parent. And each week I chat with one of my top comedian pals who, just like you, are juggling careers, busy lives and schedules, and raising a family. You can expect candid stories, hilarious mishaps that happen on stage and at home, and just a lot of laughs. There's no expert advice here. Well, actually, sometimes a good idea does sneak its way in, but mostly just pure, relatable fun to remind you that we're all in this parenting adventure together. New episodes of Parenting is a Joke drop every Tuesday, so tune in, get ready to laugh, unwind, and maybe even feel a little bit better about your own parenting. Because sometimes that's exactly what your therapist, pediatrician, and bartender ordered. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast platform.